Hello and welcome to Tech Edge. Today I'm doing an unboxing, pretty much solely because I can do live B-roll now. This week I'm covering a cheap Corsair power supply, and next week I've got Noctua's entire product lineup, so subscribe to see that. So the VS450 is, well, it's cheap, and it's from a respectable brand, in this case Corsair. If I was buying this for my personal rig, I would put a bit more thought into what I'd buy, but in this case I'm building a test bench that won't even have a graphics card in it, so I'm not really too concerned about the power draw, efficiency, or noise, or anything else like that. Looking at the front of the box, there are a few statements here above the model number. One is that it comes with a 120mm fan, 2 is that it is up to 85% efficiency, and 3 is that there is a 3-year guarantee. And down here they label it high efficiency, low noise in 6 languages. So that's 2 claims about its efficiency on the front of the box, yet it doesn't seem to carry an 80+ certification. Flipping the box upside down, there's all the technical descriptions you'll need, including pictures of the included connectors, which is always helpful. So it looks like I can run 2 graphics cards and up to 8 hard drives off here if I bought some Molex to SATA adapters. I wouldn't recommend doing that, since 2 mid-range graphics cards would be likely to exceed the 450 watt limit of this power supply, but you can if you want. There's a noise curve graph that shows the fan noise starts to pitch up at around 60% load, nothing unusual about that, and at a claimed 35 decibels or so above ambient, this should be a pretty quiet PSU. Below that there's an efficiency graph which shows that the power supply is comfortably over 80% efficient at 20%, 50% and 100% load. So if that graph is accurate, this power supply would pass 80+ certification like no issues. I'm not sure why Corsair hasn't certified it. If I had to guess, I'd say they just didn't want to spend the money on certification so that they can keep this unit so aggressively priced. Let's open it up. Power supply itself is in bubble wrap, and there's a power cable sitting on top, which is always nice to see. I bought a Seasonic X1250 last year, and that's a $350 power supply, and it did not include a power cable, which annoyed the hell out of me, though I think it was just a packaging error. Sliding the PSU out, there are all of the cables that it said are included, and the power supply unit itself. Pretty good looking, though it's hard to have a bad looking black box. Unfairly comparing this to the Seasonic X1250, the VS450 looks a lot better, and it's down to one simple reason. The 450 has the Elegant brand logos on either side, so no matter how you orientate your PSU, either fan side up or fan side down, all you will see from the side is the logo. The spec sheet is on the bottom. On the Seasonic, the spec sheet is on one side, which means if you mount it fan down, you see an ugly list of specifications instead of the cool logo. Build quality seems fairly solid, though hard to determine with a power supply. This is very much a budget model PSU, so don't be expecting Japanese capacitors or a silent mode or anything like that. Actually, Corsair gets a lot of crap about some of their cheaper PSUs, though I'm not really sure why. It's been a long time in the computer world since a cheaper PSU could actually blow up and take your entire computer with it. Though that said, I don't live in a market where sketchy $20 power supplies exist, so it's not a worry I have to have. Cheap power supply from a reputable brand is fine. I'm not sure who the OEM is for the Corsair VS series. I think it's CWT. That is, CWT makes the power supply and Corsair slaps their logo all over it. Being a budget model, there are no modular cables. You have to have all of the cables whether you use them or not. Everything you need is on here though. There's PCIe, SATA, Molex, motherboard and CPU connectors, as well as 2 of these stupid 4-pin things. I have no idea what they're used for these days. I was hoping to run a fan off of one of them, but it's a female connector. You need a male connector to be able to plug in a fan. Anyway, that about wraps it up. Oh, and there are mounting screws in the box too. This was just a quick little format test for unboxings. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching Tech Edge.